And Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rachakodash. Double honors to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and the Kazakh Shalom to them for elect. Just the brother Elias from the church here in Cleveland. I brought this out back with another edifying lesson. Real quick, I want to go into this Haggai 1 and 6 and see where the Spirit leads. But Haggai 1 and 6 says, "Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes." Now this applied during the actual time of Haggai the prophet. People were more concerned with themselves as opposed to the rebuilding of the temple. But we apply this today. While we're in captivity, via the curses, we working 40 plus hours and don't even have anything to show for it after we pay our bills. But we got just enough to sustain ourselves, and guess what? The squeeze is getting tighter because prophecy said it would. Ecclesiastes 12, I started at 3, pointers and 4. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." So this is a deep, dark saying, talking about how the economy of America is going to be in shambles. People are not going to be able to work. Verse 4, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets, and when the sound of the grinding is low, so there's not going to be any work. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." So the scriptures confirm that the prophecies, the things written within, it is not sweet nothings. These aren't lies. Because us as a nation, especially, the American citizens, notice the mirth is gone. We got a glimpse of it from the pandemic. People not excited to go out to concerts. It's a lot of hysteria, whether it's coming from the aspect of, oh, you might have the vid, you might have some sort of disease, or it's just crazy. Music is literally ass now. Everybody a little something, a little tech, a little whatever. Since I quoted it. Isaiah 24:8, "The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice have ended, the joy of the harp ceaseth." So a tabret is an instrument. The harp instruments, all the music is stopping. Nobody's in that joyous spirit. Holidays, these folly days, ain't even the same. People don't have the time nor the energy. And plus the prophets, through the spirit and power of Bashem Yahushai, have been raining on the parade of the wicked and the ignorant, the willingly ignorant people of America, specifically 2/3 of our own people. "They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it." Yeah, everybody's in a somber mood. Everybody's pissed off. Everybody wondering pretty much how they gonna survive. The city of confusion is broken down, Babylon. Babal means confusion. Every house is shut up, and no man may come in. There is a cry for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. So that wine, they looking for understanding. They want answers. They turn into economists. They listen to podcasts. Everybody trying to find some sort of way, but not acknowledging the prophecy of how Bashem Yahushai. So again, the music is brought low. We're no longer in that joyous spirit of mirth. It's a very heavy countenance on most people. We're going back to the Haggai and to that Ecclesiastes. People really feeling it the most in their pockets. And Esau is definitely going to use that, to usher in the MOTB. This is a chance to kind of go back to how it was 2016. That was the best summer ever, according to everybody. It's going to be how it was when you can afford houses. I seen it on Instagram. They post a picture using AI, or they made a video post. Houses back then in apartments was way more affordable. They're going to conjure up the affordability and the pleasant times from the past. And so they can provide that experience even better if you take this C-HIP. And this is what we're here to warn you about. We're here to warn you about the times ahead, and we're here to assess what we're going through now through the precepts. Because, yeah, it sucks. It's fucking with everybody. But guess what? The Lord warned us. Isaiah 19:15, straight to the point, it says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt. Pursuant to Revelation 11:8, we know that spiritually, America is Egypt. Due to the captivity of the Israelites. Like the Elder Apostle Barr said it numerous times, like, look at the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill. Which the head or tail, branch or rush may do, so we're all going to be in straits. It's going to be a bigger distinction between the rich and the poor. The middle class is evaporated. It's either you got it or you don't. And either way, this global agenda, this NWO, it doesn't matter rich or poor, free or bond. The goal, Esau wants you to have that tiny technology in your right hand, your forehead, wherever. Going back to the point, we can see through the spirit where these things are leading up to. Once people get fed up and have nothing to lose, guess what? They lose it. And this economic uncertainty, these crazy times, all these things are leading to one road, the C-HIP. But guess what? We have faith and we have a sure word of prophecy. So these things aren't going to catch us off guard. Us being the hopeful elect. It's Revelation 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Right? Because you abided in these words. Because you didn't just hear the words. You moved accordingly with fear or reverence to Yahweh Shem Yahushua and the men he sent. Starting with Elder Apostle Har on down. Patience, we're going through it all the time. It goes in the long suffering. So this ministry is a thing of endurance and humility and fear of the Lord in the correct context. It's sincerity. It says, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. And what is that? When the whole world's going to be tried. And they're not going to be so subtle about it. You're not going to be able to participate in society without the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So This is a warning. We know things are tough. And guess what? As we get close and close to the end, the squeeze is going to get tighter. And on the left-hand side, this is going to be presented as a way out, taking a tiny tech. Another precept that came to mind. As a result of people not having resources, not being able to work. 2nd Ezra 15 and 15, it says, "For the sword and their destruction draw nigh." The modern day sword is the gun. And for something to be nigh, that means it's close. "And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." So it's going to be all types of violence. Egyptian against Egyptian, like the scriptures say, neighbor against neighbor. "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes." So we're going to see more instances of people standing up against governments, elected officials. "And the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Jump down to 19. It says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." That's self-explanatory. Everybody ain't ate in a couple days. You know your neighbors got bread. You're going to try to go get something to feed your family. You can already see it. Before, it seemed far like, yeah, them niggas tripping. But now, you can see it. That spirit of cannibalism is going to be back on the earth at an all-time high. Now, Jerusalem is being sieged again. The spirit of power, Yahweh Shemel Shah, we warning the people. As a result of no work, the economic turmoil, all the unsafety, these are the things that are leading up to Jacob's trouble. We're right at the brink. Revelation 6 and 6, it says, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." Let's get that in the blue letter. A penny is that word denarii. Denarian, rather. A Roman silver coin, and it took its name from being equivalent or equal to 10 asses. But going down to the bottom paragraph, it says, it will be that represents the pay for a day's wage. So this is what we refer to as one of those inflation scriptures, because you're going to, a measure of wheat for a penny, a measure of wheat, a loaf of bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay in the NLT. It's going to be very, very hard times, especially if you have a huge family. But guess what? We have hope, because it's still going to be faith out there. It's still going to be the truth out there. Hence the latter part of the verses, as in, see thy hurt not the oil in the wine. The oil in the wine represents the understanding, the wisdom granted to us by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And guess who's that going to be? And guess who's going to have that wisdom and understanding? The elect. Proverbs 21:20, there is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up. So we are being built up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shimon Shai. Lord willing, we are those vessels that contain that oil and that wine. Read the parable about the wise and the foolish virgins. Abaratazah, we are getting ready for the bridegroom returning. We continue. Lord willing, we're getting ready and continue. And we endure to the end. Lord willing, our works are considered righteous. But just to paint the picture again, there's a lot of economic turmoil and even to a certain degree uncertainty. Esau knows that. We all know it. But what we have, we as the hopeful elect have that the other people don't have. We have faith, and we have a chance at being saved. We have a chance of salvation. So yeah, it's tough right now. We all feeling in our pockets. Even if you well off, you notice the change in price. You notice how things are just different. Everybody sees the things we see, but they don't give credit to Yahweh Shemiyah side. They do not consider the scriptures. And that's because the Lord has blinded them and shut their ears. So for those of you who do hear what we're saying, take heed to move accordingly. You need to repent. God, who the world ignorantly calls, Salakia said that backwards. Whom the people who they call God, he has a name. His name is Yahweh. And who the people call Jesus, JC, he has a name. His name is Yahweh Shai. And they want their credit. So it will behoove you to repent and do what you got to do, because they haven't been wrong. And guess what? They sent messengers. So ultimately, if you come up against the prophets or you scoff the prophecies, you talking shit to the Lord. And guess what? When the scriptures say this bitch gonna go down with missiles and it's gonna be taken down by the chariots and the angels, that's what's gonna happen. So between now and then, again, repent. God's name is Yahweh and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, let's edify. And again, Tawadi Abba Shemiyah Shai, give me the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to my teachers, the head apostles, the elders, the great millstone, we're well. And Kazakh Shalom to the hopeful elect. Until next time, Shalom.